the psychology of ownership, why we stop valuing things after 30 days. Okay, real talk. Think about the last thing you bought that you were really excited about. A phone, a bag, some kitchen thing you saw online. Maybe new shoes. You wanted it badly. You kept thinking about it. You maybe even looked it up a few times before you actually bought it. Then you got it. And it was great for like a week. Now it's just sitting there. You walk past it every day and don't even look at it. Sound familiar? Here's the thing, that's not you being careless with money. That's not a discipline problem. That's just how your brain works. And once you understand it, you can actually do something about it. Welcome to Raveling Money. Today we're going to unravel something most people never think about. Why we want things so badly. Why we stop caring about them so fast. And how that one pattern is quietly draining your wallet every single month. This one's going to shift some stuff for you. Let's go. So here's something most people don't know about dopamine. Everyone talks about it like it's the happiness chemical, like it's what makes you feel good when good things happen. But that's not really it. Dopamine is more about wanting than having. It spikes when you're looking forward to something, when you're hunting for it, when you're imagining how good it's going to feel. And then, once you actually have it, the spike drops fast. Studies show that for most non-essential purchases, the feel-good brain response is basically back to normal within 30 days. 30 days, that's it. Your brain takes the new thing, puts it in the already got it folder, and moves on. It's looking for the next thing to get excited about. Here's the part that kind of messes with your head. The most satisfying version of owning something is before you own it. When you're imagining how life will look with it, how you'll feel, what it'll change, that imaginary version of you, the one with the thing, that person is always cooler, more put together, more on top of it. Then you buy it, and you're still just you, living your regular life, but now with one more object in the room. That's not a knock on you. That's by design. Ads don't sell products. They sell the feeling of having them. The product is almost beside the point. There's a pattern to how this plays out. First comes the wanting. You're thinking about it, researching it, imagining it. Then you get it. And there's a little burst of new thing energy. Then it just blends into your life. It's like how you stop noticing the sound of your own fridge. Your brain filters out anything that stays the same. It saves its attention for new things. So the object you fought so hard to get, it becomes wallpaper, background, part of the room you stop seeing. And here's the problem. We keep buying things, hoping they'll stay in that exciting first phase forever. But they never do. Biology won't allow it. Psychologists have a name for this thing. They call it the hedonic treadmill. Hedonic just means pleasure related. And the treadmill part, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. No matter what good thing happens to you, your happiness level kind of drifts back to where it was before. Your brain has a baseline, a sort of default setting, and life keeps pulling you back to it. There's actually research on lottery winners. People who won huge amounts of money. And within about a year, their day-to-day happiness was almost identical to before they won. That's wild, right? But it makes sense when you think about how adaptation works. For your money, this means nothing you buy is going to permanently lift your mood. It'll lift it for a bit. Then it'll reset. Then the urge to buy something else kicks in to try to get that lift again. Now, here's where it gets a little uncomfortable. The people who build shopping apps, they know all of this. They study it. They build their products around it. Think about it. Endless scroll, so you're always seeing something new. Notifications that show up right when the excitement from your last buy has worn off. One tap checkout, so there's no moment to pause and think. Next day delivery, so the dream phase stays short. and the cycle turns over faster. It's not an accident. The goal isn't to satisfy you. The goal is to keep you just slightly unsatisfied, just hungry enough to buy again. That's the business model. Pay attention to your own thinking around this. Early in the cycle, you tell yourself, I need this. It'll help. It'll make things better. A month later, after the adaptation kicks in, that story quietly updates. Now it's, I need the newer version. This one's not cutting it anymore. And both thoughts feel completely logical in the moment. That's the tricky part. The treadmill always feels like forward movement, but you're in the same spot. Okay, so here's a funny contradiction. We stop caring about new things after 30 days, but at the same time, we massively overvalue the things we already own, even when they're just collecting dust. Economists call this the endowment effect. Once something is yours, your brain treats it differently. It's not just an object anymore. It's your object. It's got memory attached to it. It's part of your story. And because of that, people almost always want way more money to sell something they own than they'd ever pay to buy the same thing new. You paid $300 for something. It's been unused for a year. You'd sell it for $300, even though you'd never pay that for it today. The brain inflates the value of things just because they're yours, even when they're doing nothing for you. Every unused thing in your home takes up more than just space. It takes up mental space too. Research has actually linked cluttered living spaces to higher levels of the stress hormone cortisol. Your stuff stresses you out. Even when you're not actively thinking about it, that treadmill in the corner, the guitar you were going to learn, the boxes of stuff from the last place you lived, they're not neutral. Every object that's not doing anything in your life is quietly making a small claim on your brain, a low hum of guilt or intention or unfinished business. That's a real cost every single day. And then there's the sunk cost thing, which is basically when you make future decisions based on what you already spent instead of what actually makes sense right now. You don't sell the camera because you paid a lot for it. You don't cancel the subscription because you've had it for ages. You don't give away the formal clothes because you remember the price tag, but the money's already gone. That's done. The only question that matters is this thing serving my life right now? If the answer is no, sell it, donate it, move it out. You're not protecting a past investment by keeping it. You're just holding on to dead weight. Letting it go isn't a loss. It's money you unlock. All right, so what do we actually do with all of this? The simplest thing I know, and honestly one of the most powerful, is the 30-day list. It's easy. Anytime you want to buy something that isn't essential, that kind of thing, you write it down and you wait 30 days before you buy it. That's it. That's the whole thing. What happens is kind of amazing. You're putting a pause right at the peak of that dopamine wanting spike, right at the moment when your brain is most fired up and your judgment is at its lowest. You're forcing yourself to wait it out. Most things on the list, after a month, you don't even want them anymore. The urge faded, and you just saved yourself from another thing that would have felt great for a week and then joined the dust pile. For the stuff you still want after 30 days, go get it. You're buying with actual intention now, not just impulse. That's a completely different energy around money. Here's the thing that took me a while to really feel in my gut, not just know in my head. Every time you don't spend money on something that doesn't matter, that money doesn't disappear. It goes somewhere. And where it goes is up to you. Let's say you redirect just $200 a month, not by being miserable, just by catching the impulse buys that wouldn't have lasted anyway. Over 10 years, with even basic growth, that's not just $200 a month saved. That's tens of thousands of dollars that compounded over time, quietly, without you doing anything extra. The things you chose not to buy, sometimes they're worth more than the things you did. We live in a world right now where spending is basically frictionless. One tap, done. The money is gone before you've even thought about it. So the move is to manually add some friction back in. Nothing dramatic, just enough to interrupt the reflex. Delete the saved card from shopping apps. Move your savings to an account that takes 2 days to transfer from. Unsubscribe from brand emails. Take shopping apps off your main screen so you have to go looking for them. None of these feel like a big deal on their own, but together they add just enough pause that your thinking brain gets back in the room before your wallet opens. That small gap is everything. This is maybe the most important part of all of this, and it's a bit deeper than the practical stuff. We've been sold this idea for decades that what you own says something about who you are. Your car is your success. Your clothes are your taste. Your gadgets are your status. And it's not just ads. It's culture. It's social media. It's the way we talk to each other. But financial freedom, real freedom, starts when you begin to separate those two things, who you are and what you own. The people I've seen build actual wealth over time, almost every single one of them has this in common. They're not using stuff to tell their story. Their identity is in their skills, their relationships, the work they do, not the objects around them. Objects are tools. When a tool stops being useful, you let it go. Twice a year, go through your stuff. Not in a stressful way, just a calm, honest look. For every category of things you own, ask 3 questions. Have I actually used this in the last 90 days? Does it do something real for my life right now? If I saw this for sale today, would I spend money on it? If the answer to all 3 is no, it's gone. Sell it, donate it, move it out. Most people are genuinely surprised by how much they find. Hundreds of dollars, sometimes more, sitting in things they forgot they had. And the feeling after, people always say the same thing. Lighter, clearer, like something they didn't know was there got lifted off. That's not poetic. That's real. Your brain is no longer managing all that background noise. The last idea I want to leave you with is this. You can spend your money chasing short bursts of excitement that fade in a month, or you can spend it on things that grow richer over time, experiences you still think about years later, skills that keep giving back, quality things that actually last, people and relationships that get better the more you invest in them. One of those is a loop that keeps you broke. The other builds something real. It's not about spending less. It's about spending on things that keep mattering. So let's tie it together. Your brain is wired to want things before you have them, not after. The excitement fades fast, usually within 30 days. That's not a flaw. That's just how it works. Shopping apps know this, and they've built entire systems around keeping you in that cycle. But now you see it. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The 30-day list, the friction trick, the 6-month sweep, untangling your identity from your stuff. These aren't complicated. They're just deliberate. Wealth isn't really about how much you make. It's about how much of what you make you don't accidentally leak out. And now you know where a lot of that leak comes from. If this helped you think differently about money, share it with someone it might help. Subscribe to Raveling Money. We unravel this stuff every week. And drop a comment below. Tell me the last thing you bought that you stopped caring about fast. I read every single one. See you in the next one.